Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to walk you through the process of performing an oil change on an Audi A6 with a 3-liter TDI engine. There are two ways you can go about an oil change. One is to suck the oil out using a pump, like this guy right here, but the problem is, not everyone's got one of these lying around. You can also just buy special tools that pump the oil out, but honestly, I just suggest draining it the normal way. So, before you start the oil change, you need to find out which oil you can use for it. Then there's the option to go with Castrol or with Liqui Moly, for example, if you're thinking of using Liqui Moly now. Go to Service here, then select the oil guide. Then you tap here depending on the KBA number that's provided. Number or select your vehicle. Just like here, for Castrol, you'll go directly into the Lubrication Index section. Type in all the details here about your vehicle, and then you'll be able to figure out which oil you can use. So guys, after you've done that research, we ended up going with Castrol 5W30. You can drive 15,000 kilometers with this oil and change it in a year. Do the extended maintenance, and then you can drive for 2 years and 30,000 kilometers. I always recommend changing it at 15,000. Yes, and with the A6, we can only use the 35,001. And here we go. Yes guys, with this method, when you want to extract the oil, you take out the dipstick. Yeah, and then you just take the hose, or rather, the hose that you have connected to your pump. Now that the vehicle system is correctly configured for this task, we can proceed with the actual lifting process. This allows us to lift the vehicle without any concern for damaging the air suspension system. The car's onboard computer has been properly set to the tire change mode, which is a necessary step we've just completed. Seeing the confirmation on the screen gives us the green light to proceed. We can now safely lift the car. The confirmed tire change mode protects the suspension. This gives us confidence. The main thing is that the air springs are now in a safe state. So, with that all confirmed, we are good to go and can begin lifting the vehicle up. We are now ready to raise the car, knowing the system is properly prepared to prevent any potential issues. So, before you go ahead and perform the oil change now, we first take off the oil cap and the engine cover, because we first remove the oil filter so that all of the old oil can completely drain out. So we grab a hold of a 32mm socket and then unscrew the oil filter cap. So, we just let that drip down for a little bit, and then we'll pull it out afterwards. After you've taken the oil filter out, you just need to pop the cap right here open now, and that's all there is to it. Now you can go ahead and remove the lower fairing panel. Next up, we'll get started on unscrewing the underbody panel. It's fastened down using 6 screws and 3 retaining clips on each side, which are located up inside the wheel well liners. On your side here, you've got 3 of these plastic screws. What I'd recommend is using a washer, like this one, and then you can just twist it off like this and pull it out. So, back here you've got one of these plastic clips that you're definitely going to have to remove. So, take all of it off. So, and go ahead and unscrew all of the screws completely. Then, carefully remove the entire motor cover assembly from the unit. Next, you'll take a hex key and loosen the oil drain plug. Alright, once all the oil has completely drained out, you'll need to go ahead and replace this gasket right here. Very important. And put the new one back on here and tighten the bolt to 25 Newton meters. Wipe this area down. Clean and set it in place. Set the torque wrench to 25 Newton meters and tighten it. Don't over tighten, because if you strip the oil pan threads, the pan will need replacing. Okay, and now we're putting the cover back on. So, next, once you've got the cover installed properly, you'll remove the old oil filter. And swap out this gasket right here on this side. That's really crucial. Use a screwdriver to carefully pry this piece out. Take the new gasket, put it on here, and lubricate the whole thing with used oil. You can also use fresh oil, whichever you prefer. And then go ahead and install the new filter in place. So, go ahead and tighten the whole assembly to 35 Newton meters. Here, grease the seal again. So, and put the oil filter in. It's important to make sure that the pin is seated in there. Let the oil filter sit for a moment first, and then put the cap on. It's important to put it on straight. And tighten the whole thing to 35 Newton meters. So now we'll take a funnel and proceed to fill the 3-liter engine with 8.2 liters of oil. When you've got the full 8.2 liters of oil in there, you go ahead and put the oil cap back on, start the engine up, and then you'll want to check the final oil level on the dipstick. So after you've let it run, you wait about 5 minutes until the oil has drained down, and then you measure again so that the oil level is between minimum and maximum, just slightly above the halfway mark. Then we put the engine cover back on. I'd recommend applying a little bit of lubricant right here so that when you pull it off, the rubber seals don't get stuck and potentially break on you here. And put it back in place. So now we write an oil slip and put the whole thing back in place. After you've checked the oil level, you just need to reset the service. You can only reset the service via OBD, so not with any kind of button combinations. Best to use VCDS. Okay, the OBD port's down here. So, plug it in there and turn the ignition on. And now we go to the computer. Yes, folks. Arrived at the computer, we go here in VCDES to service reset. And wait until it has now retrieved everything. We then go up here to the arrow, and it opens up a whole lot of things for us here. We can then proceed to make a selection here between a flexible oil change service and a fixed one. That means if you want the indicator to start lighting up again at 15,000 kilometers for you, then you can select fixed here, or you take flexible. Flexible oil service reset. Long life, rest of the world, click on it here once, and press execute here once. So we've now reset the service. Close this whole thing here again, and that's it already. Alright guys, once the service hold is done, just unplug the OBD connector and switch off the ignition. It's important that you also make sure to log the service in the maintenance schedule and put a note inside there. Yes, the old oil you've collected, you can also return it right back to the place where you bought the new oil. The oil filter belongs in special waste. All the work we've done, I recommend you do the entire procedure when the engine is warm, and make sure when checking the dipstick that the vehicle is parked on a completely flat level surface. If you enjoyed watching, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. See you next time. Ciao!